Man, I am a fucking roller coaster of emotions today. Holy shit. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Waffle Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, February 26th. Yeah, February 26th. And I'm keeping a bug with you. I'm fucking going through it today. Holy shit, man. This week has honestly been really great. I had two really awesome sessions last Sunday where I think I mentioned at some point on this channel, um, one of my favorite clients that I work with is a mother and a son that actually came to see me at Envion during Mother's Day last year or something like that. They were just awesome. They call me Uncle Matt. I helped this kid write his first song ever, and his mom apparently was a pretty big rapper back in the day. So we were both kind of helping him along, and I was kind of showing him a little bit about engineering and stuff, and he was, completely blown away by the final product that, he made. And it felt really cool to be a part of that process. And ever since then, they've been one of my favorite clients. So I got to see them on Sunday. That was really, really fun. And we made some really, really cool music. And the session after that was actually my childhood best friend, at least one of my best friends. I had a couple best friends back in middle school, but this dude, his name is Brandon. He goes by Muda. And it was his first recording session in an actual proper studio. And it was really fun because it really did just feel like old times. It felt like old middle school hangout sessions. We were just cracking jokes, having a good time. I mean, I hadn't seen this dude in years. Maybe once or twice in the last 10 years probably. And it felt like we just picked back up where we left off. It was genuinely awesome. And because of that, I was able to just let go in that session and fully embrace who I am and just have fun. I wasn't worried about, the client is paying for this time and I'm on the clock and I need to get things done at a certain speed and I need to make this sound this way. I was just fucking around and having fun. And honestly, that song that we made that day might be my favorite song that I've worked on. And that's a big, bold statement, I understand. But not only does it sound really good, but I was really blown away by Muda's flow, his words, his schemes, and just how effortless he got in that booth and literally in one take all the way through just got it. And ultimately by the end of the session he only did maybe 3 takes, and by the third one it was perfect. It was just a really phenomenal experience that I got to be myself with a really good buddy of mine that, man, we used to fucking hang out every day in middle school, damn near. It was just really special. So I think moving forward with these Waffle Wednesdays, what I want to do is I kind of want to showcase some work that I've done with my clients and with my friends, and I'll post something in this window of a direct link where you can go support Muda's song, his debut song, STFU, Shut the Fuck Up. We did a great job on that song and I'm really, really proud of it. So make sure to go check that out. It would mean a lot to me and I'm sure it means a whole lot to him. So thank you for anyone who wants to check that out. Yeah, I really like the idea of moving forward. Just every week I do a little song recommendation of something that I've worked on just to, kind of show my talents and get my clients a little bit more exposure. I don't have a whole lot of reach on YouTube, but a little bit goes a long way, as they say. And that like really brought me to something that I wanted to talk about this Waffle Wednesday. And I was debating on just doing like episode 2 of the lore and talking more about my life, but I still want to do that. But I think like this warrants its own little thing in the Waffle Wednesday. I want to talk about a guy who probably single-handedly got me incredibly invested in wanting to make music and wanting to pursue what I do now as a career. Even if like for most of my life, I always said that the answer was always music. I just wasn't listening for a long time. And this guy was definitely the one that introduced me to this lifestyle, to this profession. And I got to be honest with you, I owe this guy everything. And why I want to talk about him is, oh fuck. Oh shit. Okay. This is gonna fucking hurt. This is gonna be really uncomfortable. Okay. Shit. So this guy's name is Aaron Osborne. His producer name is Philos Cult. And I want to just kind of, before I dive into, no, man, I'm sorry. I didn't think this was going to be this difficult. So Aaron and I were really fucking close in like 7th and 8th grade. I would go so far to say that he was like absolutely, without a doubt, my best friend in the whole world at that time. He was someone that came into my life kind of really obscure. Like, I didn't expect our friendship to kind of skyrocket the way that it did. He was just like some dude that came into, middle school wearing like Cannibal Corpse t-shirts and Napalm Death and listened to like heavy, like death metal. And for like the first time, I didn't feel alone in middle school. Like, I hung out with like kind of like a bad crowd, honestly. And Aaron was not that at all. Like, Aaron was very chill. He was very zen, and he just listened to like really heavy music like I did. And all my other friends at the time, they were into whatever was big at the time. Like, My Chemical Romance was pretty big at the time. Mindless Self Indulgence. And I don't want to say that I didn't like that music, but I was definitely, of all my friends, I was like the metalhead. I was like the guy with the long hair, the trip pants, like dressed like a metalhead goth like every day, and I was like the only person in my middle school that did that. Then all of a sudden Aaron comes along and I'm like, shit, we're going to be like best friends. And him and I spent like damn near every day together in the summer just listening to music and experimenting with making our own music. And he actually introduced me to the band that changed everything for me. Literally everything. Up until that point, I was exposed to really like 2, maybe 3 genres of music. I was introduced to like pop music at a really young age with Michael Jackson. From like 1st through 3rd grade, I listened to like Ludacris and 50 Cent, right? Like, just basic pop hip hop, right? And then I started listening to like more aggressive music like Slipknot, Metallica, even like Nirvana, just like the more alternative, like darker music, right? And then he showed me one day, he showed me 2 bands that still to this day I listen to all the time. And they have changed my perspective on music, and that would be Combi Christ and KMFDM. He introduced me to industrial music. I could do a whole video on how industrial music changed me as a person and how it changed my brain and how it works, on how I figure out what's musical and not, and expanding the horizons of what can make music and how to make music. But this video is not for that. But he is single-handedly the person that, he showed me Megalomaniac one day, off KMFDM Symbols album. He showed me, oh, I know the album from Combi Christ, but what was the first song? I think it was Get Your Body Beat or Electrohead. It was one of those two. I think it was Electrohead. And my God, it's still my favorite genre of music to this day. So I got a lot to thank him for that. One day, I still don't really fully understand the details, especially, I was a kid and I couldn't really comprehend or grasp like the gravity of the situation, but the only thing that I knew is like Aaron like lived with his mom, but like his mom was not great from what I remember. And I remember one day he came over just to hang out. We were walking, around my neighborhood, and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, is it cool if I like stayed with you and your family for, like a week or so?" And of course, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. Like live with my best friend for a week. Fuck yeah, let's do that." So I went to, go make sure it was cool with my mom, and I don't blame my mom at all for saying no to this. She doesn't really know this kid. It's a big responsibility. She's never met his parents. Like, I understand why she was hesitant, and she ultimately said no, like, he can't come stay with us. And, I was a little bummed, but I'm like, it's cool. Like, we can still hang out. Like, it's fine. Little did I know that that would be one of the last times that I ever saw Aaron. He just disappeared one day, stopped coming to school. A lot of people said that, he moved or he went to juvie or whatever the fuck. Everyone had their own, ideas on what happened, but no one knew exactly what happened. And then I think later in like high school, um, I met up with him. I think he was living in at the time. And I hung out with him for a little bit. And I don't really remember much about that meeting. I think it was just like, it was cool to see Aaron again, right? And then that was the last time that I ever saw him. And I was pretty good friends with a lot of people that were really cool with Aaron. It was actually through Aaron that I met a lot of people in middle school, high school that I vibed with a lot and made like my own little, small group of friends that I could trust and had, similar interests with. No one really even knows what happened to him. I heard from other people that, he moved to Chicago to become a full-time producer, and there is evidence to support that. I'll get to that in just a second. But no one really knew, and the consensus, I think, is that I don't think anybody believes that he's alive. And for a long time, blamed myself that this whole trajectory of his life spiraled out of control because of me, that I wasn't able to provide him a place to stay when he needed it. I had this conversation with my mom, and please, dear God, I know what the internet does. Um, my mom is not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. Don't go around blaming anybody for anything, right? But, you know, it hurts that he was like one of the most important people that I've ever met in my entire life. And looking at where I am now and what I do now, and just thinking that none of this would fucking exist if it weren't for him, dude. Fuck. I miss that fucking guy so much. But back to the moving to Chicago, becoming like a full-time producer thing. I'm sure a lot of you, even if you don't really listen to rap or hip hop, know of a guy named ASAP Ferg. Um, Fuck, I'm sorry. This is so hard to like keep together and like tell a story at the same time. Shit, man. Um, yeah, so I remember Aaron Philos Cult. He got uh he got really big one day. He made a beat that Ferg ended up buying and putting it on a song, and you can go listen to this song right now. It's called Perfume by ASAP Ferg. The beat of that song was made by my buddy Aaron Philos Cult. And I remember everyone at the time was like so excited for him. And like, we heard stories about like he signed like a deal with Sony or something like that, but like the whole time that all this was going on, he didn't like really tell anybody anything. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I am forgetting some really key parts to this story. I'm only one person, I only have one perspective, and my memory kind of comes in and out, right? Um, just because of everything that I've gone through with trauma. I have a hard time believing a lot of my memories, and I have to validate them and fact check them with a lot of other people. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, he ended up doing something really really big with his production skills and making music. And then he just kind of fell off the face of the earth, and no one still, I've reached out to so many fucking people. No one knows what the fuck happened to him. I don't know, I guess like part of the reason that I want to bring this up is like, if anyone's watching this, I don't know really who watches my videos. I know like a very, very small group of people that actually give me like feedback on my videos and tell me like this part was funny, or I just watched this video, or I'm catching up on these videos. Like I know a very, very small amount of people, but that doesn't equate to the amount of views that I get on these videos. So I ultimately don't know who watches these, but if anybody knows anything about Philos Cult or Aaron, like, please tell me. Please tell any of us. We don't even know if this motherfucker's alive. And he had such a gigantic impact, not just on my life, but so many people's lives. He's really, really special. And go listen to fucking Perfume by ASAP Ferg. Because I mean, fuck, if he is still alive, if he's still, doing whatever, like, he deserves all the recognition. Like, fuck. I just miss him, man. I really do. Sorry, I'm very emotional today. This is not gonna be like a haha funny Waffle Wednesday. Ultimately, like I've had a pretty good week overall, but the last couple of days have been pretty difficult. Um, I'm going through the process of watching old home movies of mine. The goal is to, you know, digitally convert all these home movies, take some audio from them, uh, to do various things with. And I don't want to spoil too much for the future, but there's a pretty big project involving this process of digitally converting my home movies. And just watching these home movies has really brought up a lot of memories and a lot of feelings that I didn't realize that I was packing really, really tight deep down for years, decades. Um, some of them are good, some of them are bad, and I don't know if this is the appropriate place for me to unpack all of that. I think it's much more appropriate for me to talk about it in therapy, but maybe I'll give you guys an update on that. Just understand that I'm kind of all over the place right now. I'm fucking super confused. Um and I think ultimately I'll be all right. Once all these videos are converted and my project is done, I never have to look at these videos again. I never have to bring these emotions back up. And that will be nice. I guess like another thing that I want to like mention in this video, that session that I had with Muda the other day was my favorite session that I've ever had in my entire life, hands down. And it wasn't because we made good music. It wasn't because I got paid a certain amount. Full disclosure here, I didn't get paid for that session. I paid for that session. He's a buddy of mine, and I wanted to do him a solid, give him his very first studio experience for free. It was just, I was able to be myself. And that felt really fucking good. And I want to start striving to do that more. I really want to just like open up and fully immerse myself in what I do instead of looking at it as, you know, it kind of goes back to a quote from Rick Rubin. And I know Rick Rubin, people have mixed feelings about that guy, but one thing he says that I think everyone really needs to understand is that he doesn't like working on music that is a product or a commerce. So like what that means is like if you're an artist, you should be making music for you. You should be making music that you enjoy. And you will find your people, you will find your fans that also enjoy the music that you make. If you are trying to make music to make other people interested or to make something that other people are going to like, you are more often than not going to fail because you're not authentic. You're just trying to replicate something. There's a lot of people making music that just want money. They just want fame. They just want something monetary or some kind of status attached to their music. They stopped caring about the art. They stopped caring about what music is capable of doing. Music changed my life forever. It got me crying on a fucking YouTube video about a guy that I haven't seen since I was probably 18 years old. Like, music is incredibly fucking powerful. And I want to just go back to that. I want to go back to just like making art, not music. What I'm saying is I'm going to start leaning into that a little more and just like have fun in my sessions, because really at the end of the day, that's all that this is for, is just to have fun and be free. And that's why I made this Discord community. I made this YouTube channel. It's to document and journal my time traversing myself, art, emotions, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry that this video has kind of been all over the place. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see y'all next week. Take care.